What it is, everybody. Good evening, afternoon, or morning if you're in Japan or something. What's up? I said, what the F is up, people? Wake up. We're all going to die someday. I didn't lead with the Candace Owens story today, but I could have. Everybody else is. I'll show you the latest, in case you're wondering. Since she's so popular and it's drama and people love drama. I will lead with my AI robot story because I led with that in the title. We end up talking about that a lot in this show. We meander from politics to robots to AI, everything that matters. Everything that matters on this earth. So we're going to show you the new robot and we're going to show you some of the latest in AI. And I can lead with that because I made that my title for the day after consulting with my robot. But it may not make it popular. We'll see. It seems like people are talking about Candace and TPUSA struggles. I have that news. I have news about the boats too, and the war in Venezuela too. A lot of stuff about that today. So how are you guys doing? W. Birkin Umbrella Corp says Wang half. I know what that means. Nick Fuentes was on with Steven Crowder today. I listened to that interview. We could talk about it if you want. If anybody wants to call in, they can let me know that they want to call in and we can take phone calls. We will cover the news here. We will cover the latest. We will see what you guys have to say in the chat as well. So thank you for tuning in. Let's see. Oh, yes. See, that's why we have to go with Candace Owens. I see what's happening here. Gemini convinced me that the algorithm would like the AI story because that's what I talk about a lot, but it's hard switching topics and stuff. People get used to a certain thing. Then your algorithm sets in. You have your people who follow you are looking for a certain thing. We shouldn't have led with the robots, it appears. But that's all right. We don't scream for attention. We just want to give you the best show possible every single time. We're going to talk about what's important every single time. But sometimes we have to do some tricks. So welcome to the show. This is the Lift the Veil show. I'm in California. Wow, how's that possible? Well, we'll see. Maybe we'll get some people tuned in. Maybe I need to change the title quickly to actually try to get some people tuned in. It's looking dreary out there. What on earth is going on? Maybe I will have to change the title. All right, so I'm going to show you the various news. It'll be an exciting show, as always, for whoever shows up. And that's the long and short of it. So we'll see what happens. Let's see what happens this show. Here we go. It's a live show. It depends on audience being here. We have to have a nice audience. All right, I'll play my intro. We'll get started. Okay, cue musical intro. Boy, that's brilliant. I do think some things in the world are real. Like you guys. You guys are real. Most of you. Most of my listeners, I think, are not just in my head. I think I have the metrics to prove it. You've taken a leap of faith today. What is that sound? And I apologize if you take offense. I'm a little offended myself. Welcome to our show. Welcome to the future. What it is, joining you live from sunny California. It's a beautiful day today. I'm your host, Nathan Stoltman. And I bring you the news, the real news. Yes, it is the real news. I think I might have to update the title for the show. This is dreary and dreadful. so far. We have 16 people tuned in so far. It should be a little bit better than that. I might have to update the title to be Candace Owens. It's so, I hate chasing algorithms and stuff. So envious of people who get people tuned in for whatever they put on their thing. All right, we'll get to the news. What should I do? What on earth should I do? Well, that's all right. We'll just cover the news. Fuck it. We'll cover the news. We'll make YouTube shorts from it. We'll see what happens. It's everybody else's loss. The show will be excellent. Let me see. I have to just show a picture of Candace. Say TPUSA drama. That's what everybody else is doing. Candace Owens watch on Ethan Ralph. I saw some other shows. Same thing. TPUSA versus Candace Owens. Seems to be the only news. Hey, JCT 7485. All right, we're going to talk about the robots today. We're going to talk about the AI future. I'm going to show you guys that. We'll talk about AI. We'll talk a little bit about stock picking, economic news. We'll show you the drama, and we'll show you the boat stuff. All right. And we have you guys on screen so you guys can see each other right now. We have our location picked out. Let's see. How should we get started? It's how should we get started? I'm completely thrown off. Gemini advised me badly today. All right, let's just get into it. I'll show you guys what the news is. We have been talking a lot about AI and robots replacing humans a lot on this show. It seems to be probably the most important topic we have. Elon Musk is building the robots. There are other robots being built. Elon Musk is about to reveal a new robot, which is apparently a huge improvement on the last robot, Optimus Generation 2. We're going to Optimus Generation 3. I'll show you what I can show you from that. He says it's going to be the biggest product of all time. It most likely will be. And we'll have to show you what the future holds after that. You know what? Forgive me. Let me do, what can I do? What can I do to fix this? I have to do something to fix this problem. I have to do something to fix this problem. What am I going to do? I don't have a picture of Candace. I don't have a picture of TPUSA. They challenged her to a duel, and people are saying she chickened out, but I don't think she really did. Ah, fuck it. Who cares? Thanks, Adam Film Grain. Yes, this is a background of my real environment here in California, on the California coast. All right, let me just show you what's going on with Elon. I'll lead with that. Here we go. New robot coming. He says it's going to be the biggest product of all time. So let me just play you that clip. Here he is.
We're finalizing the design of Optimus version 3. And that really is going to be a very remarkable robot. It will have essentially the manual dexterity of a human, so meaning a very complex hand. An AI mind that can navigate and comprehend reality. And we made in very high volume. Those are the three things that are missing. Like if you see any other robotics company, they're missing those three things. Those are the three really hard things. I spend actually at this point it might be more of my mental cycles than anything else, any other single thing on Optimus. That's solving for real world AI, all of the electromechanical issues of Optimus, the supply chain and production challenges of it, because there is no supply chain that exists for humanoid robots. So it has to be, we have to recreate it from scratch, and which requires doing a lot of vertical integration. none of the actuators in Optimus are available from an existing supply chain. But I think it is accurate to say that if successful, Optimus will be the biggest product ever.
All right. There you go. Biggest product ever. And it's going to be vertically integrated in his company. He's going to do the whole thing top to bottom like Apple. I'm doing something right now. Hold on. Then I'll show you. It's got fingers. I said it can give you a hand job now, which it probably can. So, and probably that means it can probably pick grapes and do things that immigrants do. That's one of the things. There you go. It told me. This other AI told me this is a bad score. Candace, Owens versus TPUSA. Question, challenge accepted. No, I said that yesterday. Will she show? Okay, I'll do that. And then I have to put in an image. The AI tells you what your score is. I have another AI that does that. It's called vidIQ. It's giving me kind of a low score for what I chose. You would think Gemini would know better. It's like, oh, you talk about AI. The Gemini was like, you talk about AI a lot. That's good for your show. I was like, okay, I'll lead with that. I don't think it's going to draw anybody in, but okay, there we go. Then we'll go export, Candace, export. And I will change thumbnail. I'll do this. Okay, there we go. Okay, save. So what Elon Musk is talking about is this new robot that he says is going to be the biggest product of all time. It's going to sell billions. And the issue with the robots is they're advancing very quickly. That's the thing I think people don't realize. They're advancing really fast, and there's a lot of money behind them. They're using AI and then other manufacturing processes to make them quicker and make them advance faster. So this one is apparently going to be a lot more advanced than the last one. Apparently its hands are very good. That's been the trouble that they've been having. They released a robot that can work in your house. I wish I could remember the name, then I'd show you a video of it. Slightly better. Slightly better. Okay. I wish I could show you a video of it. The first robot that they announced that can do dishes and vacuum and stuff is going to be controlled by humans. So you have to have a human that's looking in your house and virtually controlling the robot. That's not going to be that efficient it's not going to be efficient. Apparently it's to train the robot. I think the future for human beings, if there is one, could be actually just helping the robots get better and learn how to be us. So they actually should subsidize us to teach the AI how to be us better by giving us probably like glasses. I think that would be the thing. So I'm going to show you what a lot of people are sharing about that they say is really impressive, which is using the AI to do things like change your oil. I've been using it to tell me how to do things with my computer and stuff. It's very helpful. If you want to know how to do anything, it's helpful. You just ask the damn thing. At least Gemini is pretty good. It screws up a lot, like I've shown a few times. It can't do very simple things. And it gives me bad advice sometimes, like it did today. But overall, it can do some things that are going to be very helpful. But in the end, like I said, it's going to make us kind of irrelevant. I'll show you the video of what's supposed to be so impressive about this Tesla. It's the hands. Human hands are very hard to draw, and they're very hard to replicate. Like to have a robot do dishes without breaking the dishes, or to have it cook without throwing the food all over the floor. That kind of stuff is difficult to do. So these machines, these Optimus 3s are not built already, but they're showing some previews of them. So I'll show you this. Let me see if I updated this. I think I did. Okay. Yeah, I did. Let's see if it works. So this is it. The hands. I said it can give you a hand job. It's kind of joking, but actually sex robots probably aren't too far off. We'll all have partners that are robots, I guess, that'll keep us busy until we die, except we're going to live forever too. So that's kind of annoying. Lots of annoying things about the so-called future, assuming we live to see it. Here's the hands that are supposedly so impressive. Here we go. It's showing how it can manipulate the clitoris too, ladies. So it can do all of that. It will be able to handle everything. You want to keep it away from your girlfriend, I assume. My reddit.com/my boyfriend is AI. I think that's the Reddit thread where people go insane because they fall in love with synthetic man who's better than men, because men are annoying. But let's face it, we all are. We're not perfect. The machines will strive to be. So there it did. It did like the either like the hard rock thing or the I love you thing with its hands. It swung its finger around. Prague 7706 says, who needs sex robots when you have women walking around? Well, let's face it, not every woman wants every man, especially when they have AI boyfriends now that are really nice to them and are always attentive and never annoyed. So that's the only thing. But yes, you're right. We will probably want real women. Hopefully it continues. We'll see. We'll see if we end up like the beautiful mice who groom themselves, eat, get fat, hang out by themselves. Females that eat their young. We'll see if that's the future that really happens. Who needs sex robots? Who needs sex robots? Is that a rhetorical question? And so there's the hand video, and then people are sharing the running video. So of both Optimus and this figure robot running, it's kind of impressive. I'll show you that. So this one in particular, its feet are amazing. It's got like some kind of cool shoes sort of on. And then this is Tesla's robot running. But that's the figure robot running. And then this is the Tesla robot running. So here's the thing. We have machines, we have simple machines, and then we need humans to do certain things. Like I always go back to driving taxis, delivering things. But there's lots of other jobs too, like farm work, picking, like they do around here, the legal immigrants, they pick the strawberries. So far, it's been hard to design robots to do things like that because they crush them, their hands aren't sensitive enough. So that problem, I believe, is being fixed. So actually, it's probably a really good idea to get rid of illegal immigrants who do menial work that Native Americans refuse to do so far. Because probably robots will replace them and actually farming will become completely automated. It already is mostly. Most farming is done by people on lots of farms. Bill Gates got lots of land. That's probably a good idea because we will continue to need to consume. We need to eat. That's the problem with humans. We need to eat, sleep, and defecate, which robots don't need to do. Robots just need to recharge once in a while. But they don't complain, they don't call in sick, and they don't need sleep. So they can work 24/7. So right now, the robots, the first thing is kind of like taxi drivers. That's an easy one. But then accountants, data processors, the analytics, all those jobs are being replaced quickly. The ones that can be done just by a computer without any physical understanding of the world. But then these things that have physical understanding of the world can do that last step. Like you don't need, like DoorDash, for example, gig jobs like DoorDash. DoorDash should be around for a while. I talked to the AI about it. That's a job I enjoy. The hard part isn't the driving or the picking up so much, although that's part of it. The things that are like right now that can't be done, that's what like Tesla Optimus is working out right now. And I'm just going to suggest it's just going to happen faster than people think. That's all. The progress has been very rapid using the intelligence basically. And then everybody's working toward the same goal. The Chinese and us are spending a lot of money on it. So we're making rapid advancement, more rapid than people think. Like I said, the intelligence is happening at like light speed because that doesn't require any physical understanding of the world. But then the other stuff is catching up very quickly. So it's that last step, like I said, for DoorDash, just carrying the food, or if you're a UPS driver, carrying the package, figuring out in your head, oh, where's the right place to leave this package, etc. Finding the address. That's the part that's difficult right now. But assuming these things are good, it won't be that difficult. It won't be that difficult for these robots to do. So I saw a story, I don't know if it's real, that some pharmaceutical company is putting an order for these new robots, but this is going to be the commercial model. Not this one. This isn't the Tesla. This is the Tesla here. This is the one that is going to be a commercial model. The ones so far have not been good enough to release commercially. Apparently Optimus 3 will be. It hasn't come out yet, but it will be coming out soon in the future. So just watch out. That's all. We're just following the progress in the machines. See which jobs they can replace. We want to replace menial work. We'll put them to work in factories where it's dangerous for humans to work. I've mentioned before that China is way ahead of us with robots in factories. China's got already what they call dark factories where the lights aren't even on because it's all robots and they don't need to see, or they don't need as much light as we do because of their advanced sensors. China's way ahead of us. It's like, as far as the most advanced robotic factories, it's like 43-2. They have like 43 of them so far. We have a couple. And then China also has almost fully automated ports as well, which we can't do because we have unions who said in their contract that AI can't take their jobs to do simple things like drive around the dock and move things, or even something as simple as opening and closing a gate. Our union said in their negotiations when they closed the ports for a while that it's important that they're not allowed to be taken over by AI. In China, there's no such thing. The government just does what it wants. So China has the most advanced ports, very rapidly getting the most advanced factories. And maybe we'll lose, to be honest. Trump says we have to win, but Brock says that's just some guy in a suit. Some of them have faked it. If it looks that real, though, that's a tough sign. Robots are all Democrats. Yeah. Burke, W. Burke and Umbrella Corp says soon it will be Robot Lives Matter. Now, I think soon it'll be open war. So the Terminator 3 future is coming. So far, we're embracing it, basically. Like, people aren't in full revolt yet. But I think they will be eventually. Once it hits, like next year, once the job losses really start, which they already started this year. They just released a report. We had over 1 million layoffs this year. It's kind of strange because actually very few people are signing up for unemployment. So I don't know exactly how that makes sense, but we've had the most layoffs since COVID this year already. And actually, so far, the AI isn't that good. It's advanced more, like it's just gotten kind of good enough to do a lot of things and be advantageous for businesses and stuff. But we already have 1 million layoffs this year. I expect next year to be a lot worse. And then it'll be open warfare. I picture people like dropping grenades into delivery robots and stuff, those ones that roam the streets, and they tried to make them look cute with big eyes and stuff. But people will probably take sledgehammers to them and stuff in the future. I'm guessing it'll be like in LA when they were firebombing Waymos. That's what I picture. Oh, Waymo. Speaking of which I'm a big fan. Well, sorry, I followed Google's car technology for a long time. Waymos are the most advanced, way better than the Tesla because they have more. They have the sensors that are required. Elon Musk's cars just use cameras, which aren't good enough, I don't think. We'll see. We'll see if the Tesla self-driving becomes the main thing. But I think Google's self-driving and people who emulate Google's self-driving is called Waymo. They just killed a famous cat. The Waymo taxi just killed a famous cat in San Francisco. And apparently they just had a software upgrade, so they drive more like aggressive human city drivers. They killed a cat who was famous and people are really upset about it. It was called like the mayor of 14th Street or whatever street it got ran over on. And they also hit a dog recently in San Francisco. But they did an update to the software where it's much more aggressive now. It's much more like a real New York cabbie now, the Waymos. They're getting them doing illegal U-turns, rolling stops, things that humans would do. They're much more aggressive because otherwise they can, and like they'll cross yellow lines if they have to get around somebody, stuff like that, stuff they didn't used to do before. So, but yeah, that technology, we're cooked. Taxi drivers are cooked. And that was a good job. And then eventually it'll be truck drivers and stuff. According to like certain economic theories, basically they'll depress the cost of human labor down to whatever it costs them to run a robot. So we might still have jobs, but we won't get paid anything for them. The only thing we'll have going for us is that supposedly stuff will be cheap. But I imagine there may be a revolt. Do you guys think so? That will revolt? Are you planning to? I mean, people could literally start attacking robots. I see that as a possibility in the future. Sledgehammers, firebombs, flipping over delivery robots. I mean, so far it hasn't happened, but and then you'll get like another Nassim situation where people go to Google and start shooting people, possibly. A lot of stuff to look forward to in the future, believe me. So I'll show you the progress. I'll get to the Candace Owens story. I changed the title to try to get people tuned in, but look at the epic failure. Teach me a lesson. Never stray. Never stray from what your audience wants to hear. Don't think they'll just tune in because you're a pretty face. This is how much robots have advanced in 10 years. So here's what they were doing in 2015, just so you can tell. I've been following this kind of thing for a while. I've always been interested. This is where they were 10 years ago. DARPA. These were like DARPA challenges. I went to a robot school, like a CIA kind of school, Carnegie Mellon University, where they're developing robots. Apparently, they had something to do with the lunar or the Mars rover, I think. They had these like secret buildings where they're working with advanced technology. They contract with the government there. And DARPA used to run robotics challenges. That was a DARPA challenge. Jensen Huang, the CEO of NVIDIA, was just on with Joe Rogan, trying to convince people why AI isn't a bubble, probably, and why people are going to buy his chips forever. I'll show you what he said about AI.
And more of knowledge in the world will be generated synthetically going forward. Until now, the knowledge that we have are knowledge that we generate and we propagate and we send to each other and we amplify it and we add to it and we modify it, we change it. In the future, in a couple of years, maybe 2 or 3 years, 90% of the world's knowledge will likely be generated by AI.
That's crazy.
I know, but it's just fine.
But it's just
I know. And the reason for that is this. Let me tell you why.
okay.
It's because what difference does it make to me that I'm learning from a textbook that was generated by a bunch of people I didn't know, or written by a book that, from somebody I don't know, to knowledge generated by AI computers that are assimilating all of this and resynthesizing things? To me, I don't think there's a whole lot of difference. We still have to fact check it. We still have to make sure that it's, based on fundamental first principles, and we still have to do all of that, just like we do today.
There you go. All knowledge within 2 or 3 years, he says. Well, yeah, they're supposedly going to be able to figure things out. They haven't been able to really figure out too many things that we didn't figure out first yet, but they probably will be, I'm guessing. They're getting pretty smart. The first casualty of the AI wars will probably be OpenAI. They started running ads, and people are upset about that. And they also don't have the top model. They're programming video games with AI. I'll show you that. And then we'll get to the Candace Owens news, since I changed the title and stuff. We'll get to the Candace Owens news. We'll get to the news about the boats. This is right now, AI is starting to be able to build video games. So it's just another job they're going to get rid of. People who build video games. So this is a playable video game of the Zootopia, built with AI products, Nano Banana Pro, Kling, and Topaz. So I'll just show you. That's actual gameplay from something just completely programmed by AI without a real human programmer. So that's, pretty advanced. We'll be able to program our own video games. I guess we can already. So I guess that's the future of everything. Then program our own entertainment. There is a stock picking AI, apparently, which has finally cracked the code. Many people have attempted to use AI to invest and earn money. Apparently, one finally has. Which, if it's true and people figure out which one it is, then you assume like everybody just wants to make money. Actually, that's the thing. What AI hasn't proven it can do is just like make money by itself yet. That's the final hurdle, really, before we become totally irrelevant, is apparently like they haven't figured out without human help how to earn money just by themselves. But this, if it is true, is the first AI that is able to invest money and make money on its own. And actually, once that hurdle is breached, then if money's irrelevant, then what's the point? I mean, you tell me. We can find value. We can find value in things without having to chase money, but we're programmed to chase money, which is like a representation of everything, goods, services, etc. Money is a representation of goods, services, labor. It's like a spreadsheet or a database. So it's all digital for labor. We pay people to do things, basically. So we earn money so we can use it to pay for labor. Make my hamburger, make me a sandwich, do my laundry, etc. If we don't need to make money anymore, then we don't need to work, basically. Just like Elon Musk says. If robots can do it, then yeah, that's like the last step. And if we're there, then it's over. It could be over in an instant, basically. Like if this is true, everybody figures it out, we very quickly become irrelevant. But let me just play this clip.
Okay, so imagine this. We take $320,000 and we let a favorite of our chatbots, aka large language models, just invest it for us. And they're investing real money in real stocks that are traded on the real NASDAQ exchange. So they're buying and selling Tesla, Nvidia, Microsoft, Google, Palantir, Amazon, and others. I'll cut to the chase. There might be a company with a mystery AI model, this one right here, that might have cracked the code. This is the first time I saw anything published about this approach. This competition just ended a few hours before I recorded this. And if this is the real deal, and it kind of sounds like it is, well, then things are about to get interesting. Okay, so imagine
There
this.
you go. So that's the story from somebody who covers AI all the time, which is apparently one of the hottest topics on YouTube. I watch it. I follow all the stuff. They say we're going to get uploaded to the cloud. They say we're going to be living on other planets. A lot of things they say are completely insane. Like, we're not designed to live on Mars, for example. The gravity's not right. We can't grow anything there. There's no oxygen and stuff. Like, actually, everything on Earth is either designed specifically for life, or we evolved so that we're designed specifically for Earth. One way or the other, we're meant to live on Earth. I don't think we should exactly take it for granted, but a lot of these crazy AI futurists do, and they're like, "Oh, we'll just live on Mars, or we'll live on the moon. It'll be great." It's not going to be great. I don't think. We're actually designed, like, the Earth matches all these parameters. There's like a trillionth of a chance that Earth would be made exactly the way it is so that we could evolve to exist, assuming we came about by evolution and not creation. Either way, there's like almost no probability that Earth would be exactly perfect. Like, especially, for example, the things like water and temperature fluctuations, the way ice freezes and water stays, the way ice freezes and then water is underneath the ice always, has a very unique feature. And the night-day cycle, the amount we get cold and hot is just right. The moon, very helpful. We're not supposed to be able to exist without that, however that appeared. There just, everything fell into place right here where we live on Earth, where theoretically we could not have any of these clothes or houses or technology, and we could just exist. We could just eat things, kill things, eat things, etc., like animals do. Many of the futurists take that completely for granted. And I don't think they should. We should probably value life here. I don't think it would be any fun living on Mars, probably. What does Elton John say about Mars? Can you remember? I think he says it's cold as hell. I think that's what he says. All right, that's my AI preaching for the day. I'll get to the Candace Owens stuff. Thanks for tuning into the show. We'll show you the drama news if you're here for that. Then we'll talk about the boats. See if I have anything to say to summarize what we just talked about. I've been harping on it for a long time. The thing about the AI making money, though, is that if everybody gets the AI, it'll probably just even things out. Because if everybody's in competition for the money and they have the same technology, you need to have an edge, I believe, to make money. And if everybody is on the same playing field with the same computer, the same AI models, etc., then nobody's going to have an edge over anybody else. If all the AI just starts competing with each other for money, then then nobody can make money. I don't think, at like stocks and so forth. If you find a secret formula, then you need to keep that secret, because if other people figure it out, then it doesn't work anymore, basically. Like BlackRock and other major banking corporations have very sophisticated artificial machines that do micro trading that beats the market like every single day. But that technology is proprietary and they have machines which we can't have. Otherwise, if we all had it, then it would just be an even playing field. So if this thing this guy's talking about, which is that apparently some AI cracked the system, it sounds great, but once everybody has it, then nobody has an advantage anymore, which maybe is a good thing. Maybe it's a good thing. I don't know. Democratizing intelligence. All right, let's get to the drama news. Let's check out the chat for a second. Elton John has been to Mars. What does Elton John say about Mars? Mars ain't the greatest place to raise your kids. That's what he says. In fact, it's cold as hell. And no one there to raise them. If you did. So I trust Elton John, basically. Mars ain't the greatest place to raise your kids. In fact, it's cold as hell. And there's no one there to raise them if you did live on Mars. So I'm not going. Who's joining me? Who's staying on Earth with me? Will everyone have an AI like a guardian angel of sorts? That's what they're talking about. Yeah, that's what some of them are talking about. They're like, every child should have an AI looking out for them that has like their best interests at heart. Yeah, I've heard that. W. Birkin. Everyone will have an AI guiding them that's looking out for their best interests. That's what people are proposing. And kids use the damn things. Kids have the companions, the AI companions. Something like 75% of young people have interacted with an AI companion. So, all right, let's get to Candace Owens news. Here's the news. Anyway, yesterday's show, she got invited to, here's what happened with Candace Owens. I'll just show you in case you care about drama. in case you care about things that actually probably don't matter that much in the grand scheme of things. Elections, leaders, voting, inter-party squabbles. They probably don't matter, but we talk about them anyway as if they do, because otherwise, what are we going to worry about if it's not politics? Blake Neff, the guy we showed yesterday that invited Candace to the live stream, set a time and date for the live stream, which will be Monday, December 15th, which is not this Monday, but would be the following Monday. This is what he says. Blake Neff, the guy with no personality who issued the challenge to Candace Owens. He says, the live stream we announced on the show Wednesday has been set. I'll show you. The live stream we announced on the show Wednesday has been set at 4 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. local time on Monday, December 15th. A collection of Charlie's friends will respond to statements made by Candace to set the record straight once and for all prior to the opening of America. Oh, America Fest is coming up. Wow. That's the one Tucker Carlson is headlining. Wow. And Tim Pool was disinvited to, I believe. We'll be live streaming from Charlie's Phoenix studio. Our offer from yesterday holds. If Candace wishes to join us in person in Phoenix, she is welcome to do so. She can let us know by the end of today. So Candace replied, kind of weird how you didn't email me or call me to ask about times or availability and choose to instead tweet this confirmation out at midnight. Why am I learning about this on X? December 15th does not work in person, and 2 p.m. Pacific time is also the literal time I do my podcast live every day, which you knew. But we will happily cancel the daily podcast and will join you guys virtually instead for the live stream on the 15th. If that works on your end, let's lock it in, ? And they are accusing her of backing out. Actually, Nick Fuentes even is attacking her for backing out and not showing up in person, which I don't understand why she has to show up in person. I think it's a little disingenuous. A lot of people are like, oh, Candace is backing out because she said I'll just appear virtually. I mentioned the top comment on her live stream that I saw yesterday was, don't go, Candace, they're going to kill you, which I think is a little crazy. I don't think they're going to kill her. I think people should stop worrying so much about being assassinated. Maybe I'm crazy. Seems like the thing to say lately. It's like, you're going to die. But maybe it's true. People are like, oh, they're trying to set you up, Candace. That's what all the comments said under her stream. They're like, they're trying to set you up, Candace. They're going to kill you. Like, okay, that's a little paranoid. I don't think they're probably going to kill her. That would be a little obvious. But that's what everybody's worried about. I don't think Candace is worried about it necessarily. But she's got kids and stuff and kind of probably has things to do. I don't understand what the big deal is about showing up virtually. Like, I don't know why they wouldn't say that's okay if she can't make it in person. Don't know. What do you guys think? You think that she should show up in person or that she backed out? January Sun 5633. That's a rule Tim Pool has for his guests. They have to show up in person. Yeah, I understand that. Tucker, people have money and a studio like Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan insists on doing everything in person. I understand. But I don't. I'll think about it. Does she have to show up in person? I guess what's preventing her from it? She's rich. She can hire somebody to take care of her kids. She can hire security or whatever she needs. Turning Point certainly should offer to pay for her travel. That's what everybody does who makes enough money from their shows to have guests appear in person, is they pay for their travel and lodging, I believe. Typically, that's the way it goes, I believe. So, yeah, she should just show up in person, I guess. I mean, I think I don't believe the French thing, first of all, and I don't believe TPUSA was involved in the assassination of Charlie Kirk, to be honest. That would seem kind of strange. And I don't think they're going to kill her. But she's got everybody paranoid enough. They're like, don't go, Candace. Don't go in person. It's a trap. That's what people say. It's a trap. I wouldn't. That's just paranoid, I think. But yeah, she should probably show up in person. JCT says, I wouldn't go in person. What's the difference if she goes in person or online? People think there's a difference. That's all. I read the comment from my chat. People think there's a difference. There is somewhat. You look at each other and stuff. The biggest shows always do everything in person. Tucker, Joe Rogan, Tim Pool. They don't do virtual stuff. They got a studio, multiple chairs. It's better to do things in person. However, given that she says she can't, I would, if it were me, I'd be like, okay, just show up virtually. I don't know. Nah, who knows? Who knows? Prague, oh my God, use the R word. Her fans are mostly retarded, you say. I don't think so. People get sucked into stories like that. I don't think they're retarded. People who are into conspiracy theories aren't retarded. Not mostly. Maybe some of them, but not mostly, probably. I understand. A lot of people think that. She's got a lot of them. You're saying a lot of people are retarded, if you believe that. Now, I know smart people follow her, like her. We had somebody call into the show yesterday, explain why she's right to be going down the road she's going down. 30-06, etc. Okay, let me show you and critique Tim Pool, who's got the knives out for her. So everybody's attacking Candace. It seems like. I'm trying to think of it. There are a few fringier people who are supporting Candace. Dave Smith is not that fringe, actually. Has been on her side, but I haven't heard anything from him recently. But he's been on her side. Megyn Kelly refused to condemn her. So Megyn's kind of held back. But a lot of people are like, oh, she's a grifter. She's destroying the conservative movement. Or Tim Pool's maybe taking it the furthest. But Crowder also has been attacking her. Now Nick Fuentes is going after her too. So let's play and critique what Tim Pool has to say. I'll play that now.
It's Huey says, Tim, I work in construction and experienced the same thing. My coworkers are all in on the Charlie Kirk conspiracies. If the Republicans lose in the midterms, I believe that Candace Owens is wholly responsible.
Wholly, he says.
She is,
okay, this is what I want to critique, actually. Tim Pool says that if Republicans lose, that it's all Candace Owens' fault. All Candace Owens' fault, Tim says. Now that I can say a lot of things about, but we'll listen to his argument. If Republicans lose, but the commenter said it's like, oh, everyone in my office, etc., is listening to Candace Owens. She's huge, bigger than everybody, bigger than Tim Pool, bigger than the Daily Wire, bigger than Steven Crowder, bigger than Nick Fuentes, but only because she's allowed to be on YouTube. She wouldn't be bigger than Nick Fuentes if he still wasn't totally banned from everything except Rumble and X. But she's the biggest in that category, bigger than all the Democrat commentators, which generally the conservative ones were bigger in the first place. But I checked in on Tim's pool. I was like, okay, let's see. How many people is Tim getting tuned in? He had like 18,000 live on YouTube. He led. I was watching Tim Pool because he's trying to get engagement. Lots of different people are trying different ways to get engagement. The story he led with yesterday was the drunk raccoon story. So for whatever he's talking about, I was like, really? Oh, that's the most important story. I tried to lead with robots today, but I had to change the title because nobody tuned in. Now we have a few more people tuned in since we changed the title and thumbnail. But for engagement, he was like, oh, there was a drunk raccoon. In case you didn't see it, it's kind of a funny story, but it's the fluffiest of fluffiness, totally meaningless. A raccoon broke into a government liquor store in Virginia because the government runs liquor stores in some states still, and ransacked the store, got drunk apparently, and passed out in the bathroom. And that was the title for his episode yesterday. It was like, drunk raccoon story is the biggest story in America. That was the title. So I was like, okay, let's see how many people tuned in. It's like 18,000 on YouTube live. He had like 19,000 on Rumble live. So it's great. I mean, plenty of viewers to make money, hopefully to support his staff and so forth. I'd be of course mega happy with numbers like that. Who am I to talk? But it's nothing. Candace had yesterday, I think 150,000 live on YouTube, and her video ended up with like 1.2 million views or whatever it came up with. But that's what he led with. So that's what people are searching for, though. Like searching for like, how do we get people engaged? I think people are tuning out of politics. I was consulting with Gemini. It said that the algorithm on YouTube is leading people to gaming and culture. I believe it was culture. So that's why you see conservative political commentators starting to talk about pop culture, like doing their hot take on Stranger Things, stuff like that, saying it's like oral rape and those kind of things. I think that's why you see that, because people are just tuning out to just political stuff and maybe conservative political stuff. So people are trying to figure out how it all works. But anyway, people are still worried about elections, which is most of the people on the right think that Nick Fuentes, Tucker Carlson, and Candace Owens are destroying the Republican Party and are the reason Republicans are going to lose. So that's what Tim Pool said. He just said she's the only reason. That's how insane he is. I have suggestions for what other reasons might be. But
it's Huey says, Tim, I work in construction and experience the same thing. My coworkers are all in on the Charlie Kirk conspiracies. If the Republicans lose in the midterms, I believe that Candace Owens is wholly responsible. She is one of the biggest podcasts on the right, doing everything to go to war with the organization that helped get Trump elected. Turning Point specifically was going out and registering people to vote. Without Charlie, it's in trouble. Turning Point needs to be able to go out and rally young people and register them to vote. And she's doing everything she can to destroy that. And that is going to, I suppose, it's going to rip out the coffers on the right. There is no organization like Turning Point that exists anywhere else that has the resources and the reach. And without Charlie, I'm not sure that they can make it. But I can tell you this, Candace lighting a Molotov and throwing it through the window is not helping. And it's the most demoralizing thing ever. Additionally,
Ever.
all of the fucking cowards on the right who are too scared to say anything about her, because she tweets at me talking shit or whatever, and then a bunch of people come and flood our chat. I could give a single flying fuck. You can come and you can burn everything I have to the ground, and I will happily live in a van down by the river. I don't care to be number one. I don't need to be number one. What I care about is what is true and what will help this country and what works. And she is a fucking scumbag. Okay. And she's getting worse every day. And she crossed the line. She continually crosses the line every day, insinuating that Turning Point literally killed the guy who made them all rich. And I hear this in the streets, and at a certain point, I'm like, holy shit, we're gonna lose the midterms.
Okay. I'll go ahead and comment on it. What about Donald Trump? What about the Republican Party? What about the fact that everybody can't afford to live or eat or pay for health care? Did Candace Owens make Donald Trump attack Iran on behalf of Israel? Did Candace Owens make Donald Trump say he's going to regime change Venezuela? Did Candace Owens make Donald Trump say we need 600,000 Chinese students, or our Black universities are going to have to shut down, or half of our universities are going to go out of business? Did Candace Owens make Donald Trump say that we need to import Indians because Americans aren't good enough? Like, where's the... Did Candace do all of that stuff? Did Candace Owens single-handedly make young people upset with the Republican Party and turn on Israel? Like, really, did Candace do that? Did Candace Owens like point out what was going on with Israeli influence in American politics single-handedly, so that all the young people woke up and realized that Donald Trump is our first Jewish president? Did Candace Owens do all that? I mean, really? Did Candace Owens make Tucker Carlson and Charlie Kirk suddenly become Israel skeptical when the Republican Party is just the party that does whatever Israel wants? That would be my question for Tim Pool. Like, where's the self-reflection? I mean, Tim Pool went on TV. It was like, oh yeah, the Republican Party's amazing. Democrats have no answers. They're screwed. People don't think that. People think that Donald Trump and the Republican Party, who they voted for, because Tim Pool told them to, because TPUSA registered them to vote Republican because they were going to solve the affordability problems. They were going to release the Epstein files. All the people that voted for Donald Trump because he was going to expose corruption. Like, did Candace make Donald Trump block the Epstein files for as long as humanly possible? No. She's just a conspiracy theorist. She doesn't even talk about politics. I don't think she's on the right necessarily. She doesn't talk about it. She said, yeah, I don't believe in Donald Trump anymore. And she's attacking one entity that did have a big role in having Donald Trump elected. But Charlie Kirk, when he died, TPUSA, I mean, that's it. They don't have a replacement for Charlie Kirk. Nick Fuentes replaces him because everybody was going to rallies at TPUSA and stuff. They were all starting to listen to Nick anyway. All the guys. They were already changing their mind. TPUSA was designed, at least partially, to keep people in line, basically, just to keep people in line, to preach Christian Zionist values. And they got a lot of money from Jewish or Zionist donors to make sure that young people were kept in line. And they were already changing before Charlie's death. Then Charlie changed. And then he died, and TPUSA is probably dead. No matter what Candace Owens says. If she kills TPUSA because she's accusing them falsely of killing Charlie Kirk, I mean, it's not great. Like I said, if it's not true, which I don't think it is, yeah, it's not great. But to say she's single-handedly responsible for Republicans losing the midterms, what about the Republicans? Did she make Donald Trump turn on some of the most popular among certain factions, especially independents? Did she make him turn on Massey and Marjorie Taylor Greene and Rand Paul, who a lot of independents really like? Did she make his poll numbers plummet amongst independents and young people? No, she didn't do that. She hardly ever talks about Donald Trump or Republicans. She's just a conspiracy theorist. And people love conspiracy theories. That's it. So have some, if people didn't just blindly support everything political and say, oh, if you don't vote Republican, then the world's going to hell. People actually don't care anymore. They don't see their lives getting better. I think it's important still, compared to the alternative, probably to vote Republican. I mean, I did. I voted for Trump. I voted Republican all down the ticket and stuff. Didn't make a difference. I live in California. I still did it. I think it's important. We don't want trans kids, and Republicans are going to do more about immigration and stuff. But young people are like, my life sucks. That's what young people think. They're like, I can't afford anything. I even heard old people talking about how expensive everything is. He didn't make things cheaper. Tariffs? Tariffs didn't make things better. He hasn't deported that many people. He doesn't care about affordability, actually. He says it's a hoax. How is that going to sell? He's going to go out on the road. He's going to be like, affordability is a Democrat hoax. Or people are going to be like, oh, okay. Actually, you're doing great. He's going to go out there and tell people who are working class and don't have giant stock portfolios. He's going to be like, affordability is a hoax. You're doing great. Republicans just need to tell people that everything's great and the stock market is awesome. How's that going to sell? I mean, is that really a winning formula? So I think he's insane, Tim Pool, to blame everything, literally, on Candace Owens. She's a symptom. She's not the cause. She's a symptom of, a major event happened that changed a lot of things. Charlie Kirk's assassination. But it's because it exposed the rift on Israel and maybe helped elevate Fuentes a little bit, but he was rising anyway. So that's my commentary on it. It's like, Tim, you got to realize Candace Owens, yeah, maybe what she's doing is bad. Depending on whether she's going to show proof of anything, especially in terms of accusing I don't think it's cool to accuse TPUSA of killing Charlie Kirk without having some kind of firm evidence. She's like, oh, it's weird. That's what she says. She's like, oh, it's weird. They made a phone call to a donor. Maybe it was Pierre Dupont. He's French. And French people are trying to assassinate me, and Egyptian planes and all that, not showing any receipts really. It's probably not helpful. It's probably not healthy. People are into it because I know from experience that people love conspiracy theories. And she's on one. But to blame it on like losing the midterms, she doesn't even care about politics. She cares about the death of Charlie Kirk. And she thinks she's getting to the bottom of it. A lot of people think the same thing.
We'll lose the midterms. Then we're going to lose in 2028. And it's because she's a piece of shit. Because instead of saying, guys, let's come together and figure out how to work together, she says the stupidest, retarded crap. And now everybody's running around divided and broken. For what reason? For literally what reason? Now, guess what? I'm not on the best of terms with Turning Point either. In case you didn't remember, they didn't invite us this year, and it's become a big thing or whatever. I have nothing. I can say I know what they are. I know what they do, and I'm glad they do it. And if we don't get along, so be it. I don't know that they make it without Charlie, whatever. But what is the purpose of intentionally fanning the flames for 3 endless months of just nonstop retard shit, Candace? Holy crap. You know, initially in the beginning, she brought up some interesting things. New photos had emerged, and I said, wow, I even said this to Andrew Colvett at Turning Point at the beginning of October. Now she's at the point where it is video after video where she's saying it's an inside job. She's saying like, there's a video of the dude, Mikey McCoy, grabbing his phone and making a phone call, and she's acting like that's weird. And then you get this other guy who's claiming that the business is a parking lot. Well, he full well knows businesses can be registered anywhere. To be fair, it's not only just Candace and saying what she's saying. It is all of these people who are like piranhas ripping the right to shreds. And you know what? A lot of cowards on the right being unwilling to say anything about it. Well, this is where we go. The Democrats are trying.
Sorry.
Back to reality. They published this thing where they said, oh, we've got to, it's called Deciding to Win. And they said, we have to address kitchen table issues. Like hell, I would ever vote for someone like Elizabeth Warren or Gavin Newsom. But what I think is likely to start occurring now is the grifter right is cannibalizing itself. You are going to see the right now move from a populist base more to a neocon base. Democrats are going to go to war internally over the far left, and you'll see the emergence now of these deciding to win types, which, like Stephen A. Smith, will start agreeing with people like me and Joe Rogan. And they're going to try and win back the ground, and they're going to utilize the absurdity, psycho-reality of Candace Owens to rip people from the right so that Democrats can start winning again. And that is the reality the right has to contend with. Conservatives had a coalition. Charlie helped build it. Disaffected liberals came on board. People like Candace are intentionally burning it to the ground. Stephen A. Smith is coming out. Bill Maher even now coming out more reasonably. The Democrats are going to reemerge. Those that sold their souls for woke and to COVID are going to lose out, and they're going to retire. The AOC types, you're going to see her desperately try to moderate. But we're going to see in these swing districts, they're going to try. Now, that being said, hyperpolarization, as I've already described, may affect New York and Los Angeles and Chicago. So we will see it. Maybe it all just gets ripped apart anyway, and you end up with 15 different factions all fighting for power in the federal government. All I can say is it is frustrating to look at everything that's happening in the world and realize, for a brief moment, my friends, maybe it's a little bit too black-pilled, but I'll say what I'm going to say. It looks like victory. A year ago, it wasn't a long, protracted election. It was a snap and done. Trump won. Wow. And then one by one, cracks in this coalition begin to form. For whatever reason, the falling of Daily Wire, the ousting of Jeremy Boring, he's gone. Whatever it is going on with Daily Wire, I have no idea. But for some of these guys, their views have gone down. There's been heavy critiques. There's the Israel and anti-Israel rights now fighting each other. You see these cracks forming. You get the Tucker Carlson, Nick Fuentes dispute, and now Candace Owens is trying to burn down Turning Point. And so what it feels like to me is we're watching the ship sink.
There you go. We're watching the ship sink. I agree with that. I criticize a lot of things. I saw some people mentioning the tariffs. Okay. So tariffs. Okay. they can be helpful. The way Trump has thrown them around, and they're just not helpful for affordability. That's all. I don't think anybody can argue seriously that prices don't go up when you have huge tariffs on China and places that grow coffee like Brazil that aren't totally to make trade more balanced, that they're because he has a vindictive thing against Brazil because they did something politically he didn't like. So he put 40% tariffs on them. They send us most of the coffee, and the price of coffee has gone up like 20%. I don't think you can argue that that's exactly the right way to use tariffs. To use tariffs in a strategic way to bring back industry to the United States and stuff, no, I do think it's valuable. But you can't argue that it makes things cheaper. And anyway, Trump already is removing tariffs in order to make things cheaper. So if that argument was real, he already contradicted that argument by saying, oh, I'll help prices go down. I'm going to cancel some tariffs. Okay, well, if it didn't make prices go up, then canceling tariffs shouldn't make prices go down. So, but tariffs, like, they're not, we have strategic reasons we need to use tariffs probably. It's not terrible, but it doesn't make prices go down. It makes things more expensive. And we haven't even seen all of it yet. Now, and a lot of people lost jobs from small businesses, and small businesses are blaming it on tariffs. It's the corporations so far that have eaten the tariffs and not raised prices. But that can only last for so long. Walmart says they're going to raise prices soon. Costco wants their money back. And actually, it's not going to go back to the consumers who paid higher prices this whole time. It'll go back to the corporations when the Supreme Court strikes it down, assuming they do. So, but anyway, that's my thoughts on that. I mean, I don't think they're totally terrible to balance things out, but they don't make prices. They make prices go up. Like, if we're making money, people are paying extra money for things that would be cheaper. So anyway, that's Tim Pool attacking Candace Owens along with other people. Do we care if Republicans win? A lot of people don't. And anyway, he's talking about Democrats moderating. Democrats are taking the populist talking points that got Trump elected for themselves, if that's what you call moderating. But if candidates suddenly emerge, like Donald Trump was never a classical Republican. Fuentes pointed this out on Crowder today. When Donald Trump was running for president in 2016, he said, oh, well, as far as healthcare goes, he was like, we'll just make sure we take care of everybody. That's what he said. He was like, oh, we'll just make sure we take care of everybody. When COVID hit, he gave out huge checks. It's not like a Republican thing to do. He's trying to be more Republican this time, but he's not exactly a Republican. Democrats can steal the populist idea, and everybody knows that Bernie bros turned into Trump bros. Bernie Sanders voters turned into Trump voters. And that's what's happening in reverse now. A bunch of Trump voters voted for Mamdani, populist, who said he's going to lower prices. So, anyway, do we care? Yeah, I mean, it's just easy to be blackpilled. That's all. I have another TPUSA employee talking about Charlie Kirk. Still not that exciting. I'll play it for you anyway. I'm not setting it up in a good way. I should say, oh my God, TPUSA whistleblower. TPUSA is going to die. Ben Shapiro's network the Daily Wire seems to be dying. I don't know if anybody will take their place. Could be political commentary in general is dying, and maybe it'll die forever because people are into AI and popular culture. I don't know. Instagram, etc. YouTube or this program, this software wants me to broadcast vertically, which everybody hated because everybody's in their shorts feed. And I do get more views that way, but I stopped because people complained and it wasn't the best format. But people are in shorts feeds, they don't have long attention spans. They get clips. So in the long run, we're all dead, as they say. Anyway, here's a guy who's like a TPUSA whistleblower. I love it that everybody does shorts from their car. They do TikToks from their car. Wonder when that trend started.
My name is Joshua Peterson. I worked for Turning Point USA and Turning Point USA Faith, and I knew Charlie Kirk personally. I want to say on the record that there was a inner circle at Turning Point USA that was constantly working against Charlie and his interests and what he wanted to do, as well as there was a Jewish influence in Turning Point that he was not very fond of, that he wanted to get rid of.
Can you hear it okay?
He tried doing this. He tried creating a Doge department, and he gets assassinated. Another thing that makes me believe this inner circle was constantly working against Charlie was because of the fact that he had a whole entire branch of Turning Point that he had no idea about, and that was the stock market branch. Now, the thing about this branch is it's been getting millions of dollars poured into it over the past 4 years now, and that's been seen through their latest tax returns, which were also filed late, which was weird. But
who cares? Some kind of stock department. Yeah. Big shock that a not-for-profit organization has shady financing and shady donors. I mean, that's all being exposed. The volume was too low and that guy's a little too weird. The whistleblowers haven't really been dropping bombs exactly. People may have been working against Charlie Kirk. Jewish interests probably were upset about the direction he was going. America Fest is about to happen. And Tucker's got a headline. Let's see when is America Fest? Let me ask. When is America Fest? Apparently people don't do Google searches anymore. They're just on their AI. December 18th to 21st in Phoenix. TPUSA. Annual 4-day political conference. My goodness. A large event featuring speakers, partner organizations, and world-class training. And the headliner right now is going to be Tucker Carlson, who's also a conspiracy theorist now. He's talking about chemtrails and September 11th. Building 7. Let's just talk about that. All right. So that's the news on Candace. That's a little political news. I'm checking the chat. Okay. Looking good. All right. Boat. Venezuela. Trump says he's going to attack Venezuela, apparently. So we're almost ready for a land war with Venezuela, which some people are upset about, particularly Rand Paul, who I like. I see a lot of people on the right saying they don't like Rand Paul. In fact, Scott Adams made a comment about Rand Paul today. So anyway, here's some of the news. A family of the Colombian fisherman who was killed in the September 15th U.S. military strike in the Caribbean Sea filed a formal complaint Tuesday with the Inter-American Commission on Human Rights, alleging the U.S. government illegally killed him, which they did. According to most lawyers, most military lawyers, it's not just the double tap strike that's illegal. It's all of them from beginning to end. Here is Trump apparently confirming that we're about to go to a land war with Venezuela, which has prompted Rand Paul and others to file something in the Senate to say that they don't want to go to war, basically, without their approval.
If you look at our numbers, the drugs coming in through sea are down 91%. I'm surprised there's 9%. I don't know who's doing the 9%, but it's down 91, and we're going to start very soon on land, and I'm sure you're thrilled to hear that.
He says he's about to start very soon on land, which right now it's happening in international waters, which they're using as one of their defenses. We're in an undeclared war. If you want to support the show, by the way, thanks for tuning in to watch it. I appreciate you guys. If you want to support the show, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil and drop a coffee or two and leave a comment. I'll read it at the end of the show. We also have t-shirts for sale. I'm wearing one today. This one says Bitcoin Saves on the back. We have shirts for sale on not just clearance, but liquidation sale. Apparently, I could wear one of these. Truth Matters. Unisex baseball jersey. I have one of those in the closet. We apparently have a few Lift the Veil t-shirts that got taken down prematurely. T-shirts and baseball. So hopefully those will be relisted soon. Everything's $5 and $10. Everything we have left, including our Question Everything shirts. Women, we seem to still have Question Everything designs in several colors. They're great slouchies and women's shirts, $10 each. They used to be 30. Question Everything is still available a little bit, but mostly sold out. We have in stock lots of Bitcoin and Litecoin shirts. We have these Freedom of Faith shirts, which were made in America with American cotton. All super high quality, all last a long time. I just did my laundry. It's all these shirts. And they're all like 6 years old, and they're all still good. I'm wearing this one. It's old. They last through washes and everything because they're not digitally printed like most people's drop ship bullshit. This is actually, we purchased the blanks, high quality, chose the best, screen printed them in America, high quality, lasts a long time, will not fade, etc. Truthclothing.io. Thank you. Thank you for your attention to this matter. All right, so Trump says we're about to get involved in a land war. Here's some of Rand Paul, who's been on the news a lot, talking about the strikes. I'll just play various clips of people talking about the strikes. Apparently, some people saw the video today of the double tap strike.
On this particular vote, have you seen any evidence that there were survivors? What intelligence have you seen?
I've been offered no briefings, and I think that's purposeful because I've been skeptical of this. So no briefings have been offered to me. We are asking for them. We are supportive of the Armed Services Committee looking into this, but this has been very selective in briefings that have been given to people, primarily given to people who are already apologists for the administration.
And do you have confidence in the Defense Secretary at this point?
I'm very, very concerned about an order that would say kill them all, kill them, after they've already been wounded, after they're drifting apart. But for some people, this is distinctly different, the second strike. I think both strikes are actually illegal. I don't think you can just name people and say, well, they've got drugs. Well, where's the proof? That's an allegation. And these people are 2,000 miles away. People don't realize these outboard boats have no capability of reaching America. Take them like 20 stops to refuel to get up here. In all likelihood, none of these boats are coming to America. It's a completely made up and false sense that we're at war, we can do whatever we want. But if Congress wants to vote on it, no, we're not at war. So they're at war if they can do whatever they want with no oversight. But if Congress were to get involved with oversight, it's not a real war. It's just a war where we name people who we don't like, we call them terrorists, and then we kill them. And then if we see them floating around in the ocean, we then rebomb them. It's a crazy.
There you go. Yeah, somebody said that narco terrorist isn't a made up thing, but it's drug mules. It's not even the guys that make the drugs, the guys that make all the money from the drugs. It's guys that are hired by cartels if they really have drugs, which we're not doing interdictions. We're not searching for evidence. We're just blowing them up so nobody can say with any proof, and the government hasn't presented any proof that it actually is drugs. But assuming it is, it's not the main guys that go on the speedboats. It's drug mules, poor people that make money from running the drugs for the cartels. It's not people coming here to kill us. It's not people with fentanyl at all. Everybody knows it's not fentanyl, probably cocaine. Apparently Venezuela is some kind of hub for drugs, if you believe that. Apparently they've stopped drugs from coming in, if you believe that. Apparently the price of cocaine has gone up a lot, if you believe that. Maybe it has. All the same, it's a law enforcement matter. We don't kill people for dealing drugs. Calling someone a terrorist doesn't make them a threat to our homeland. And anyway, the boats can't even make it here. They have to do 1 million stops before they get here. If they had fentanyl, the argument is a lot better, but they definitely don't have fentanyl because that's not where it comes from. If we really were worried about fentanyl distribution, we'd bomb China and Mexico, where the fentanyl comes from. No, it's a left-wing government that has a lot of oil. I think it's very straightforward. It's a left-wing government that has a lot of oil and some resources. We don't like them, so we want to get rid of them and get our oil companies in there. It seems very straightforward. And apparently that's what we're going to do. It's interesting to me that everybody suddenly cares about the drug war again, because I thought the war on drugs was an abject failure and everybody agreed on that. But not anymore. Here's another quote from Rand Paul. He's doing the rounds.
In this sense, it looks to me like they're trying to pin the blame on somebody else and not them. There's a very distinct statement was said on Sunday. Secretary Hegseth said he had no knowledge of this and it did not happen. It was fake news. It didn't happen. And then the next day from the podium of the White House, they're saying it did happen. So either he was lying to us on Sunday or he's incompetent and didn't know it had happened. Do we think there's any chance that on Sunday, the Secretary of the Defense did not know there had been a second strike? In this sense, it looks to me.
There you go. I am the Buddha. Call me names. No, the legalization of drugs is an abject failure, you stupid fuck. Look at Portland. Look at Portugal, where they legalized drugs and drug use went down. And it's not legal in Portland. It's decriminalized. They don't arrest the people that are causing trouble. It's not legal. It's not regulated. Look at Amsterdam, which most people agree is a nice city. Portugal's doing a lot better from what I understand. They don't have a fentanyl problem. America has a fentanyl problem. It's not because fentanyl is legal. It's not. Dealing fentanyl isn't legal. Some cities, they allow crime to take place. It's kind of different. But either way, look at when everything was illegal and we had drug wars in Miami. How is making things illegal worked so far? Have we ever won the war on drugs? Like, did it work so far? is having, I mean, there's no difference almost. Cannabis is legal now. Is it better or worse? It was getting bad on its own. People were making fake stuff on their own. People still buy it illegally. People were already manufacturing synthetic stuff on their own that was probably going to make people insane. There are arguments for it. I understand. But fentanyl is a problem, but that was created by pharmaceutical companies. The opioid crisis, what's worse, the cocaine problem in America or the opioid problem? The opioid problem came from drug companies. It was legal. They just prescribed it like candy. That was legal. Is that better or worse? I don't know. It's a very complicated issue, but don't call me names. I mean, don't think you're a genius. There's not an easy answer. It doesn't work to make things illegal because we've done that for a long time. Crack was illegal. The government flew it in. The government basically distributed it. Destroyed communities. It was totally illegal. So, I don't know. You can call me names, see how it goes, but make sure you have a point. Here's somebody on Newsmax, Judge Napolitano on Newsmax, talking about whether it's legal or not.
It gives me no pleasure to say what I'm about to say because I worked with Pete Hegseth for 7 or 8 years at Fox News. This is an act of a war crime, ordering survivors who the law requires be rescued instead to be murdered. There's absolutely no legal basis for it. Everybody along the line who did it, from the Secretary of Defense to the Admiral to the people who actually pulled the trigger, should be prosecuted for a war crime for killing these 2 people.
And who would?
Gives me no pleasure to.
So that's the legal analysis from somebody who worked with Pete Hegseth. All the lawyers say it's illegal. Everybody agrees on not everybody agrees on the second strike. Some people say it's great. Like, do I have the clip of that? One-eyed McCain, Eye Patch McCain says it's great. I can play you that if I have it. Maybe I don't have it. He says it's great, but everybody else, a lot of other people are concerned. Here's a GOP guy talking about it. It's illegal no matter how you look at it.
The Armed Services Committee have indicated their displeasure of the type of information that's being provided to the Armed Services Committee. And if you look in the National Defense Authorization Act, what's about ready to be passed, there are provisions that are heightening the requirements on the Pentagon for the level of information that's going to be required by law as a result of the failure to provide information. And in this instance, of course, what's also so concerning here is, as you know, and as you guys have reported, this activity that's happening in the Caribbean where they're hitting these boats. These individuals, if they were captured and tried and convicted, they would be guilty, if they were found guilty, of criminal activity for which they're not subject to capital punishment. They would be put in jail. They wouldn't be subject to capital punishment. These people are being killed, not held and put in prison. So the concern of whether or not the intelligence is accurate, whether we actually know what's happening, who these people are, is very, very concerning when you have the highest bar of the capital punishment is being executed here.
Yeah, and we have.
There you go. So that's a Republican talking about it. It's really going to be a lasting issue, apparently. I have a Democrat talking about it. Who they apparently today, the guy they threw under the bus because they said Hegseth didn't order it, this general did. Apparently, they showed Congress people the video. And yes, this is going to be from a Democrat, so we don't want to take it necessarily without a grain of salt or two. But he says the video is really bad of the double tap strike.
Bill, getting an update from our Capitol Hill producers here. I'm told that the briefings just ended on the House side and that Democrat Congressman Jim Himes, the ranking member of the House Intel Committee, came out, spoke to media and said they were shown the unedited video of that second strike. And he says, quote, "What I saw in that room is one of the most troubling scenes I've ever seen in my time in public service." So that there is reaction. Bill, getting an update.
There you go. So that's apparently the quote from the Democrat. That's one of the most troubling things they've ever seen. So we'll find out more, but I think Hegseth's still going to be in trouble. Apparently it's not the reason the Democrats made that video to disobey illegal orders, but Trump got rid of somebody who didn't want to do the strikes because they're illegal. And anybody who participated can be brought up on American charges, not just international charges. So and Trump could be impeached over it. And there's no statute of limitations on war crimes. So it's interesting policy. Some people can say it's like, who cares? But we should care. If you care about Israel killing innocent people, then you should probably care about Americans possibly killing innocent people, because they haven't presented any proof to anybody. And we don't know the legal order that says it's legal because it's secret. So if you don't care about possibly innocent people being killed, but even guilty people being killed, then I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to say. Like, it seems then you just don't care about human life. Like Megyn Kelly said, I want to see him suffer. Okay, but that's like kind of evil, basically. It's a crime. We have crime and punishment, evidence, due process. Or we don't. Either we're a nation of laws or not. So people can say they don't care or whatever, but I think that says more about the people who say that than it does about whether it's actually a crime. So anyway. Well, you're an asshole then. Actually, I'm the Buddha. I don't care about substandard IQ lives. Then you believe, are you a Nazi then? Eugenics, then you support eugenics, aborting babies because they have Down syndrome, stuff like that. Then you're cool with all of that as well. By that logic, then you're just a piece of shit, basically, according to people who are Christian. You think we should just kill people? Do you think we should just kill black people too because they commit crimes? Just shoot them on the streets, execute them because they're black? Or then you're a dick. Like, you're not Christian. You don't care about life. So that's fine, but don't try to take it out on me. Like, don't ruin the vibe. All right, guys. That's what we have for us. That's what we have for the news today. Candace Owens, robots, AI, etc. Oh, I have one more AI video. I'll show it to you. Change the mood. This is what people are excited about with AI. Sorry, I'll show you one more thing. This is what people are excited about. Like Bill Ackman says it's amazing. Here is this video that people are saying is amazing with AI, which I think it's been able to do for a while, but this is an example of it, so I'll show it to you.
Hi, I'm Gemini. Hey, Gemma, this is my 2009 BMW 335i. Can you help me do an oil change?
Yeah, absolutely. What kind of oil and filter do you have on hand? And do you have the right tools, like a wrench for the drain plug and an oil filter wrench?
Yeah, I got the Castrol 5W4 you recommended and the correct oil filter, and I have the correct tool for the oil filter housing.
Great. You've got everything we need. To get started, let's get the car lifted and access the oil drain plug.
Okay, and where's the oil filter?
The oil filter is located on the front of the engine, right below the intake manifold. It's always a good idea to remove the oil cap before you drain the oil.
Okay, great. I'll do that. Okay, up we go. Okay, I got the car up in the air. Where's the oil drain plug?
That's the plastic panel you'll need to remove. The drain plug is located underneath.
For the podcast, the video is actually highlighting the area where things are for the podcast. And in case you're not noticing on the screen or thinks it's actually like special effects or something, the AI highlights the area on your camera. I haven't tried this feature yet.
That panel.
There's the panel off, and looks like that's the drain plug. What size is that?
It looks like a 17-millimeter drain plug.
I'm gonna pull it out now.
Make sure you have the drain pan in place to catch the oil. Let me know when it's drained.
So drain it out.
Once the oil completely drains, you can wipe down the drain plug area and put the new washer on the drain plug.
Put the new washer on the drain plug. I'm gonna go ahead and put it back on the car now. What's the correct torque spec?
For your N54 engine, the correct torque spec for the drain plug is 18 foot-pounds.
Okay, that's 18. Okay, there's the flat back on now. Now I'm ready to drop the car.
You can lower the car and then we can focus on the oil filter.
So I got the oil filter removed now.
Okay, I see the old filter in your hand. Before installing the new filter, you'll need to replace the large O-ring on the cap that comes with the new filter. There's also a smaller O-ring at the tip of the cap that should also be replaced. I see the 2 O-rings in the plastic bag. Go ahead and replace the ones on the filter cap with those. You can use a small flathead screwdriver or a pick to gently pry the O-ring off. Got it. You're gently prying the O-ring off with the pick. It looks like you've got the green O-ring in place.
Okay, got the new O-rings and the new filter in.
Perfect. Now that the oil filter cap is ready, go ahead and screw it back into the housing on the engine.
Okay, I'm just tightening down the oil filter housing. What was that torque spec again?
Is actually 18 foot-pounds. Go ahead and set your torque wrench to that setting and let me know when you're done.
There we are. That's 18 pounds. Okay, I'm ready to top up the oil. So how much does an N54 take?
It's 6.9 quarts, which is 6.5 liters. Your N54 doesn't have a dipstick. You'll need to start the engine and let it run for a few minutes to let the oil circulate. Then you can use the vehicle's electronic oil level sensor to check the level.
Okay, Gemini, the oil looks full.
It looks like you're all set with your oil change.
Another job well done. Thanks so much, Gemini.
You're very welcome. It was my pleasure to assist you with your oil change.
So there you go. That's it. Ackman is excited about it. People are saying to make Google glasses with enough battery power, a good chip, and a look like Ray-Bans, you'll have an instant hit 100%. Well, Meta already makes glasses that might integrate with that. But yes, so there you go, guys. That's what it does. I ask it, basically I give it screenshots. Like if I've done it a lot the last few days because I was setting up a new computer. I had to sell my old computer. And I had some questions. I had some difficulty. I had to set settings on this computer. And so I just asked Gemini and I give it a screenshot. And it generally helps me out. It told me exactly what to do to wipe my old computer to sell it. It gave me advice for what to sell it for, which was actually kind of wrong. But it told me to sell it for a price that was too high after I did research. But it helped me out quite a bit. It's helpful. And then when you're in Chrome, Gemini's integrated with Chrome and can look at the web page with you. There's just a big Gemini button and it can actually look at what you're looking at, analyze it, and tell you about it. It knows about StreamYard. It knows about the settings in StreamYard. I asked about it before I set up the show. I was like, how do I get rid of my name showing up? And it told me how to do it. It knows about pretty much everything, it seems like. It's not always right, but it can be extremely helpful. And as far as the glasses thing, yeah, well, you can see why the glasses thing. I saw another video of like an AC repairman who wears the glasses, probably the Meta glasses, and was looking at something he didn't know how to fix, turned on the AI and asked it how to fix this AC thing he couldn't diagnose, and it told him. So it's even working in trades and stuff like that. So I think actually they should subsidize glasses because it trains the AI. It trains the robots. They should subsidize AI glasses to help train their AI to train their robots, which need data to learn how humans do things. So anyway, I'll check my coffees. A few people said they got me coffees. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Any financial support goes a long way. I have to pay my machines for doing things for me, so I appreciate it. Here we go. Let's check. buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil. You can leave those anytime. They take a very small percentage. You can also go to Cash App at $LTV411 if you want. Then I get 100% of it immediately. The Branch, thank you. Bought me a coffee. Appreciate you, Branch. It says, beep boop, take me to your leader. Thanks for that. And I think that's the only one today. But one coffee is infinitely better than 0 coffees. And considering the show started off rough, we got some people tuned in, so that's great. Thanks, everybody. The podcast will go out right away. We'll feed everything to the AI, make some shorts, and I'll be back tomorrow. And the football game should be pretty good tonight if you're into that kind of thing. It's the Bears against the Eagles. That's why we were a little early today. Thanks, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Love you guys. All right. For now, that's what it is.